One of my favorite books is this one right here, Profit First. And if you are building a business, this is a must read. This is going to get you financially sound and lay the foundation for your entire business to scale to multi millions of dollars of revenue. And what I really like to do with this book is, and there's this little teeny tiny hack because what this book covers is the idea of having different envelopes to put money set aside for different aspects and areas of your business. It breaks it down into five basic categories. Number one, profit, so paying yourself first. Then, but profit's different. Profit's actually what you take away from the business, not what you pay yourself. A lot of people confuse that. The second one is your owner's compensation. Then taxes, then typically you have business expenses or operating expenses. And it gives you different percentages to break those different categories up at different stages in your business. When in the beginning, you're probably the only employee, so your owner's compensation is going to be a lot larger than, for example, your operating expenses, because you're most likely only going to be covering, and you can kind of split operating expenses into payroll, employee payroll versus like software, hardware, general administration fees, whatever, G&A. But typically, it's going to be a lot smaller than that in the beginning because you don't have anyone you're paying. And this can be a pain in the butt. And what a lot of people do is they'll go to the bank and they'll open up 4 or 5 different accounts. And that way they can have a checking account, all these different saving accounts, and they think it is phenomenal. But here's the issue with that: it makes taxes incredibly complex. There's 5 different accounts that you have to settle. It makes you the nightmare client for your accountant. And if you're doing your taxes yourself, it just makes them a lot harder and more complex. But there is this bank that does a phenomenal job that allows you to only have one account but have those 5 different or as many folders really as you want within it. And that bank is Novo. It's an online bank. The downside is they really don't have in person institutions. They partnered with Middlesex Bank up in New England, but they have a really good user interface. I've been using them for 2 years now. We've run millions of dollars through that bank. It sorts it every single time. I don't have like any issues with it whatsoever. And the best thing is it integrates with a lot of different solutions, from payment processors like Stripe to uh, payroll and administration stuff like QuickBooks or Gusto for running payroll and paying contractors. It's just a really phenomenal tool. They're very um, customer centric, customer first. And on top of that, and what we found is also really amazing, that's an added bonus, is every business owner now should have a line of credit. And I don't believe a business should operate on debt, but you should have a line of credit just in case for a rainy day fund, on top of having another liquid rainy day fund. I believe in multiple areas of redundancy. It's the engineer in me. I like to have funds on funds on funds I can draw on and do business for at least six. Ideally, in my ideal world, I'll eventually have 18 months of funds that I can just operate the business out of without making a dime in revenue. Why 18 months, do you say? Well, that's typically like the longest recession that you can possibly get. But I like to have 6 months to a year of funds that I have access to that I can draw on. And Novo does a really good job of extending lines of credits based off the amount of revenue you bring in every single month. There's no long application fees. It's really easy. They have really good customer service. And once you're approved, you have easy access to the fund. I do have to specify that none of this is at all a paid partnership. It's just a platform that I really like and I want you to succeed in business. So I'm sharing with you everything that I've got from Novo and how I've been able to apply this book and keep our business financially sound for 3 years now and hopefully decades to come. If you got any value from this video, please subscribe to the channel.